Hey guys, welcome. iPhone emulation has been mostly a no-go for me. It has historically been a bit of a convoluted mess. It used to require jailbreaking. But there have been a lot of advancements in iPhone emulation very rapidly over the past year or so. First, there were web apps like Afterplay that allow you to circumvent the App Store by just running the games in your browser cache. Then, thanks to the ongoing Epic Games lawsuit, emulation made it onto the App Store legitimately. The most popular one being Delta. It can emulate everything up to DS, and it does a phenomenal job. They even recently added multiplayer support for DS emulation. But emulation on iOS stops right there. And though there's Dolphin for GameCube emulation and Folium for 3DS emulation, unfortunately neither runs all that great. And as powerful as iPhones have gotten recently, all that untapped power seems like a waste. And it only makes sense for us to play some Nintendo Switch games on our iPhone. In this video, we'll go over setting up our iPhone to play Pokemon Sword and Shield. The process will be the same for an iPad too. And as a bonus, I'll also show you how to run Super Mario Kart 8 on your iPhone. So pretty much the best games to have on the go. The one thing we absolutely need to run these more complex games is to enable JIT on our phone. You might have heard of JIT, which stands for Just in Time. This is a compilation technique that allows certain games to run very fast. It allows games to run just in time, JIT, just in time. Like and subscribe. Thank you. For us to be able to do that without jailbreaking and without questioning our life when it comes to troubleshooting a jailbroken phone, we can now use a tool. Just this past week, a tool to enable JIT just snuck its way onto the App Store, StickDebug. Now, what I'll say now is stop everything that you're doing right now, close this video and download that app before it gets taken off the App Store, because it's entirely possible that Apple does remove it. StickDebug basically unlocks the full emulation potential of your iPhone without jailbreaking, and with some pretty impressive results. It's not perfect, but it's a great start. The first step of the process is to install AltStore or SideStore. And to do this, you'd at least need a free Apple developer account. Historically, you'd typically need a Mac computer for this, but thanks to some recent updates, you can even use a Windows PC. I'm not covering the install in this video, but there are plenty of tutorials on YouTube which will help you set it up. I'll link some of them below. Once we've installed AltStore, this is what we'll use to sideload Melanix, which is the Nintendo Switch emulator. So download the Melanix IPA, add it into AltStore, and from there, you'd be able to install it on your iPhone. Just a quick note that everything I mention here in this video is documented in the Git repo for this video, which I have linked down in the description below. So you can go there and follow along. Once we have Melanix installed, let's open it up. On first launch, we should see the screen to import keys and firmware, but we can't do that just yet. There are two more things we need to do before we can start playing some games. The first of those is to enable increased memory limit and increased debug memory limit entitlements. The process to get those is slightly different for paid versus free developer accounts. If you happen to have a paid account, the instructions are on the Git repo for this video, linked down below. But assuming we have a free dev account, I'll go over the process of getting entitlements. To do that, we need to sideload yet another app. You'll find the resources on the Git repo, download the IPA, and sideload it using AltStore. Let's open up the entitlement app once installed. You'll need to log into your Apple developer account, and once you've done that, you'd be able to enable the entitlements. That should be taken care of automatically by the app. Once we have the entitlements, the next step is the most important, to enable JIT. Enabling JIT is actually super easy. I've added two resources to this video's Git repo that should help you getting JIT enabled. There is the Reddit comment that lays things out pretty easily. Now that you have all the other stuff figured out, from now on, you will open your emulation apps through StickDebug. Think of it like a launcher. StickDebug will allow the app to run with JIT enabled. Each of these apps have a JIT option that should unlock itself once you load it through Stick Debug. Now that we have memory entitlements enabled and we have JIT, we can launch Melanix to add prod keys and firmware. Now, I'm of course not going to show you how to acquire those, but I've added some resources to the Git repo which will help you figure things out. Once we have them, it's as simple as copying them over to the iPhone and selecting the keys and firmware zip file. And there we go. We are in Melanix and we are ready to add some games. Now, again, I'm not going to show you how to get the Pokemon Sword and Shield ROMs, but I've added some resources in the Git which will help you figure things out. One thing to keep in mind though is that these ROMs are often very large and it's very easy for your phone storage to fill up. So make sure you have enough storage on your phone. The process to add the ROMs is the same. Get the ROMs over to the iPhone, click the add or the plus button, find where the games are, click on add, and there we are. Games are added. Once they are added, we can start playing. Exciting. Let's hit the play button. But as soon as you do that, you will get this message saying JIT is required, which is basically to say we did not use Stick Debug. But fortunately, we have it installed, so we can close Melanix and go back to launch it using Stick Debug. To verify if JIT is enabled, you'll see this green dot in the firmware box in your game library. And if you go into settings, you will also see that JIT is enabled. Now, JIT and memory entitlements both need to be enabled in order to get a smooth gameplay experience. Once we've verified all that, it's finally time to play. If I hit the play button, we'll see Melanix compile the shaders. Melanix uses the Ryujinx backend, which means whatever games are executable on Ryujinx on PC or Mac should be also playable on Melanix. Now, as you can see, I have the game running. Choose the language. I'll choose my character. I'll choose my character's name. And yeah, I can basically start the game. So if I hit yes now, there we have it. It's the game and it has started. Now, I will not go any further than the intro screen in this game, but I have played it on my iPhone and it can run without a hiccup, especially if you have an iPhone 14 or later. Now, I did promise at the beginning of the video that I'll also show you how to get Super Mario Kart 8. So if you want to know how to do that, I've made this section available on Patreon. So you can head over there right now to follow along. The last thing I wanted to mention before I leave you is that based on the announcement at WWDC this year, it is very likely that Apple might be completely blocking JIT support in iOS and iPadOS 26. So until we have some definitive confirmations, it's a good idea to hold off on upgrading to iOS 26. So that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite Pokemon. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, and if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and turn on the bell icon to receive notifications for all my new videos instantly. I've also got a Patreon, so if you want to support me as a creator and get some exciting extras from me, you can head over there right now and support what you can. But for now, this is Upamani signing off. Thank you.